Let's read the problem below, then explore different ways to solve our multi-step inequality. Mrs. Sanchez is building a laundry room in the basement of the apartment building she owns. Given the layout of the basement, she wants the width of the room to be 20 feet and the length to be longer than the width. Here's the width. And the length is going to be longer than the width. So that's why it's 20 plus a variable, plus x in this case. Okay? If she wants the area of the room to be more than 500 square feet, what could be the length? Look at the diagram Mrs. Sanchez drew. There it is. Again, the width and the length to be longer than the width. So it's got to be longer than 20, right? Remember, the area of the room needs to be more than 500 square feet. Not 500. It's got to be more than that. So let's model it. You can write and solve an inequality to find x. The product of the width and the length must be greater than 500 square feet. And the reason there's product because base times height or length times width gives you the area. So there it is, width times length, right? Width times length. The width we know is 20. The length we know it's going to be longer than the width. So it's 20 plus whatever it may be. And multiplied together, they need to be more than, greater than 500, which is the area. Now let's put it all together, and there it is. 20 plus x times 20 greater than 500. Okay, what they did is they distributed first. They simplified. So let me make this a little bit skinny so we can see. 20 times 20, positive times positive is positive. 20 times 20 is 400. Then, don't forget to distribute both terms inside the parentheses. 20 times x is 20x. There it is. So we got 400. We're simplifying this. Plus 20x is greater than 500. And now we're solving it. Again, take away the constant first. We need to get x by itself. The inverse of order of operations. So take away 400 on one side of the inequality. You have to do the same thing to the other side. 500 minus 400, we got 100. So now we're left with 20x is greater than 100 because 500 minus 400 is 100. The inverse operation of multiplication is division, so we're going to divide by 20 on both sides. We're not dividing by a negative, so the inequality stays the same. We're not reversing it. Whatever I do to one side of the inequality, I must do to the other. 100 divided by 20, we got 5. So x needs to be greater than 5. It can't be 5. It's got to be greater than 5. Okay? Let's do this as a flowchart. Okay? X greater than. There's two ways of doing this, but because we're going to distribute first, let's see what happens here to x first. Times 20. Put it here like this. Times 20. And then what happens to it? Plus 400, right? Plus 400. My output is 500. And now let's solve this. Let's make this a little bit thicker. 500 minus 400. We got 100. And 100 divided by 20. Again, we're not dividing by a negative, so the inequality stays the same. Is 5. And then we can plug numbers in to see. If I put in 6, 6 plus 20 is 26. Okay? And then 26 times 20 is going to give me more than 500. In this case, 520. Okay? We can graph the solution set for x on a number line. In this problem situation, the numbers in the solution can be whole numbers, decimals, or fractions, because you could have technically 5.1, 5.2, right? 5.1, 5.2, 5.3 feet, etc. Okay? You can measure to a fraction of a foot or inch, and that measurement could be used to solve the problem. So, the graph showed a solid line. A solid line means, okay, all these numbers all these numbers and all these numbers between 6 and 7 could work, between 7 and 8 could work, etc. Notice that the circle here is not shaded in. Why? Because it cannot be 5. Remember, in this question, she wants the area of the room to be more than 500 square feet. More than. So if it's 5, it'll be 500. So it's got to be more than 5. Let's connect it all to help us solve this problem. Now you will look at the solution and graph to analyze and interpret the inequality. Question 9. Describe in words what the inequality statement in the first modellet means. And again, you can go back to the modellet and then you'll see it. Question 10. What do you do with any value for x in the solution set to find the length? Please explain. Question 11. Look at the graph of the solution set. Why is there an open circle on the 5? Now, we already went through that, so think about that. If you're struggling, you can always go back in this video. Why is there a solid line instead of just circles on the whole numbers? Question 12. The numbers on the number line end at 8. The arrow shows that the numbers beyond 8 are also in the solution set. Given the problem situation, do you think the solution set can extend forever? Or will there be a limit? Explain. So this is where you have to think about real life situations. A great question. And question 13. In your own words, describe what the solution set is and what it means in context of the problem. Pause this video, solve these 5 questions, take your time, and then once you're done solving these questions, unpause to check your answers. Question 9. Describe in words what the inequality statement in the first model mean. 20 feet, right? Times the sum of 20 feet and an unknown number of feet is greater than 500 square feet. Okay, we've been through that, and we went through that. Number 10. What do you do with any value for x in the solution set to find the length? Well, the length is 20 plus x, so you add the x value to 20 to find the length. Now look at the graph of the solution set. Why is there an open circle on the 5? Why is there a solid line instead of just circles on the whole numbers? Well, we went through that, but let's read this. There's an open circle on 5 because it is not the solution set. You can't include 5, okay, for this problem, which includes numbers greater than 5. There's a solid line because the numbers between each whole numbers can be used to solve this problem. We already talked about that. Number 12, okay, the solution set will not extend forever. Think about that. The size of the building will set some kind of a limit. I mean, if it goes on forever, this building, this basement could be bigger than a gymnasium. Think about that. Think about a laundry room in the basement that's going to be the size of a gymnasium or even bigger than that. So that's why it cannot extend forever. Okay? And question 13. In words, describe what the solution set is and what it means in context of the problem. Here's a possible answer. The solution set is the set of numbers greater than 5. It means that if the length of the room is 20 feet plus any number of feet greater than 5, the area of the room will be greater than 500 square feet. Let's try it. Let's solve this problem. Use what you just learned about inequalities to solve this problem. Show your work on a separate sheet of paper. Solve. 8 times, in parentheses, 12 minus 1/4 x, which is greater than or equal to 82. And graph the solution set on a number line. Again, pause this video. Take your time. You can use flowcharts if need to. And then solve it. Once you have the answer, unpause the video and you can check your answer. Remember to also graph the solution set. Let's see what we have for an answer. The answer should be x is less than or equal to 7. Okay, let's see how. So let's do this out step by step. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this problem. And now let's do it step by step. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute 8 times 12, 96. Positive times positive is positive. Now we're going to do 8 times negative 1/4, which is the same as saying 8 over 4, which will give me negative 2x, right? Which is greater than or equal to 82, as you can see up here. Okay, now we're going to take away 96 from both sides of the inequality, because we're trying to get x by itself. Take away the constant. First, the inverse of order of operations. 96 minus 96 is 0. 82 minus 96 will give me negative 14. And again, now we have negative 2x greater than or equal to negative 14. Inverse operation of multiplication is division, so I'm going to divide by negative 2 on both sides of the inequality, right? Because I'm trying to get x by itself. Negative divided by negative is positive. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so I'm left with x. But since we're dividing by a negative, remember, inverse of this inequality. And that's why the answer, negative divided by negative is positive. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Boom. And then if you take any number that's 7 or less and plug it in here, you would see that it would work. It would work. Okay? It's always important to check your work. Let's do this with flowcharts. The first thing you do need to do is distribute this. Okay? And then after you distribute, then you get 96 minus 2x is greater than or equal to 82. Let's do that up. What happens to x first? First of all, I'm going to take x, it's on the left side of the inequality. I'm going to do this symbol. X is greater than or equal to, right? First thing that happens to it is multiplied by negative 2. It's two-step inequality. Then you add 96, right? And the output is 82. And now let's solve it. Let me use green. 82 minus 96 gives me negative 14. And negative 14 divided by negative 2. Remember, I'm going to divide by negative 2. This symbol will flip. Negative divided by negative is positive. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So here it is. X is less than or equal to 7. If you're stuck on this, pause the video and rewatch this. Now that we know what the answer is, again, you do not graph on a number line till you have the variable by itself. Right here, it's the variable by itself. And then when you graph it, you go to 7. Notice they should have bubbled this in, okay, and it's the numbers to the left of it, because 7 is going to be greater than or equal to, okay, boom, all these numbers would work, and that's that. If you have any questions, concerns, yeah, just re-watch this video, or you can email me. But notice all these numbers are also included. Okay? All these numbers would work, and this line goes on forever. There's no situation here. This is not a word problem. It's just a problem, and we don't know the scenario. We don't know what this is about, so the arrow goes and the numbers go on forever in this case.